Right, I'm here at Three Strikes Jiu-Jitsu with my friend and sensei Mustafa. Mustafa, just tell us a bit about your background in martial arts, your credentials. I know you've done quite a few competitions, so tell us a bit about your competitions and basically what you know about all this.
I mean, I'll come into the competitions in a minute because there's a reason why I went into competitions. Okay, I started off when I was about 12 years old. I used to watch the movies as we all do. We love all that type of stuff. Yeah, Bruce Lee is a legend. Yeah, Bruce Lee, Van Damme. Get involved and get in shape. Look after yourself. Long story short, I did karate, Kyokushinkai, full contact for 2.5, 3 years when I was 12, 13 years old. I've done taekwondo for 3 years as well. So I had, as a kid, some training in martial arts. However, I still didn't feel I found what was right for me. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm not putting any martial arts now because I've tried a lot of martial arts, but you need to find what's right for you, for your body type, for what you want. And I never found it. And I remember losing a street fight. I lost a street fight once when I was a kid, a teenager, and I thought, this is shit. I thought, what's going on? I do these martial arts.
After you did the taekwondo?
Yeah, well, I was in taekwondo, I was in karate, and I thought, what's going on here? I'm beating up with 2 against 1, one-on-one. It just didn't work. I didn't know what was going wrong. And that's a couple of years later, I come across jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I come across Japanese jiu-jitsu with Sensei Blackett, 8th dan, Soki Connolly, 10th dan, one of the only few left in the country. Yeah, and I see this guy block a punch, throw this geezer over his shoulder, locked him up. And this guy's an older guy. And I'm thinking, wow, he just threw that geezer like that. This is what I need to learn. Right. And ever since then, I stuck with it and I start applying it. Yeah.
That's jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu, yeah, Japanese self-defense.
Right. Okay.
I pursued that from the age of 21 to 11, well, how many years now? Maybe 15, 16 years. A long time, I've been training it. I'm currently going for my 2nd dan soon. So I've been doing it a long time. I've been teaching that in the club here as we speak. But again, I felt at one point when I was having fights, legal fights, of course, that some things weren't working. Some techniques, not even competition, just people offering to have a spar with you. And I just found that there was, I found that there was, again, still gaps in the techniques that can you pull off some of these things live when you need to move them live. So that's when I understood there's a time and a place for certain techniques for self-defense. There's a certain place where you need to fight. And, I'm not going to go into what jobs I've done and things like that, but I've used these self-defense techniques and I know which ones work for me more often than not in real-life combat situations. But that's when I branched off into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, because I thought, you know what, let me test myself under real stress and see if that will make the difference to my fighting ability. And my overall game, I tell you what, since doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, it took me
would you say,
tenfold to what I knew before?
All your other stuff, has it brought all your other stuff up as well?
It brought everything up. It brings everything up. So don't get rid of that because that's still there. The technique is still there. You can still apply it. But you understand everything more from a combatives.
Yes.
You've got to remember from a combative street fight is different. And again, competition fight is different. But again, I thought, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a couple of years, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I thought, why not do some competitions? If I can win competitions, then I know I'm improving. Because if you train with the same people all the time, they know you, you know them. If you train against someone you don't know, that's when you know if you're learning the true art. And that's where I won multiple gold medals in the Nationals, 2017, blue belt. I won the London Opens. I've got 6, 7 gold medals. I won a gold medal last year as well, recently. A couple of silver medals. So I've been doing okay. I've always, I'm not trying to be big-headed, but I've been coming away with medals from the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So therefore, whilst teaching self-defense, I've now incorporated the art of beginners Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu again because it's very important. Because I can't wait for someone to do 7 to 10 years to earn a black belt before they think they can look after themselves because they might need to have a roll around or actual fight tomorrow. So they need to be able to have punching ability, striking ability, takedown ability, grappling ability, as well as self-defense.
All right, so basically,
does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So just so I think the viewers understand, your concept ultimately is you're not about any one art as such. You will take and try everything and combine and practice it live and try and use anything from any art to fill the holes in your game overall.
Absolutely. Every art has got positives, every art has got negatives. Because people out there say, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the best thing in the world. Well, listen, it's got loopholes, it's got holes. Let's be real here, okay? I love it, but there's weaknesses there, okay? So what you got to remember, later on, if you record some of our teachings here, you will see us applying different techniques. I might even bring Wing Chun entrance theories into energy drills, into trapping and entering, into then judo or jiu-jitsu takedowns. Everything, as long as you know what you're doing, your skill is there, you can transition from one form to another form.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You can go from boxing to double leg wrestling.
Yeah.
To some jiu-jitsu.
See,
Yeah.
me being obviously a limited experience in martial arts, someone once said to me, and it stuck with me, anything can work if you can make it work.
Yeah.
I sort of stick to that theory and keep it simple.
Absolutely. But again, this is what I'm saying. You need to find, sometimes people, because they've been doing one style for 10 years, they feel that they've wasted so much time doing it and you know, invested into it, that it has to be the gospel truth, and don't want to, you know, say that they were wrong and they wasted time. If that makes sense, because they're just trying, you know, because at the end of the day, if someone's short, they love judo because they can throw under that waistline a lot easier and get under the legs and get those frozen ippons. Me too, I can't go under someone's center of gravity who's shorter than me, because I'm going to have to get lower and they can just count on me very easy. For me, I'm tall, so sweeping and pulling is going to be easier for me because I've got longer legs. Arm bars, triangles. So that's what I got to think. You need to know what's good for your body. Yeah, as you said there, what's good for you might not be good for me. I say to people in my class all the time, you just need to know 2 or 3 good combinations, 2 or 3 good takedowns, 2 or 3 good restraints, and you're going to beat most people, members of the public out there. You will. But you just got to repeat and be consistent with the stuff that you do to give you a high probable chance of being successful, or pulling off that move that you're trying to do. You know, you can't come one class, don't do it again for a year, and think that when it kicks off, yeah, I'm going to do it.
That's me, I think.
Yeah, listen, I've seen people all the time, you know, they love their favourite move, but even then, if I don't train, I don't train for a couple of years, you get rusty. You know, people say to me, why do you still train this? And listen, I still go and teach myself, because you can always learn. God, I learn more sometimes when I'm teaching a white belt here, because I can see little things that I didn't see when I was training, that I'm learning off a beginner. Do you see what I'm saying? Constantly learning. There ain't no black belt out there, and you see this. Watch other videos before. People tell you when you get a black belt, you're still learning. There ain't no black belt out there that says I've learned everything. I know jiu-jitsu. My jiu-jitsu is complete. I know everything. No, because you can always learn something. And if you ain't jiu-jitsu, you can put something else in. You can improve your wrestling, your boxing, your striking. You might come against someone big and strong. I ain't gonna grapple someone that big and strong. You know, you see what I'm saying? You have to. You have different tools in the box, different situations, because everything is different. And like I said earlier, you got sport fighting and you got outside fighting, 2 completely different kettles of fish, and people don't get that. So that's my concept I always personally use is different toolboxes for different jobs. That's it, exactly. You can't use a sledgehammer for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes,
you know, you need to think like that.
I think we could talk for hours.
Oh, I love it. We could talk forever.
We'll save it for the main podcast, but we'll catch up again soon.
Nice to see you for it. We'll see you on the mats with the orange suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. All right, it's good. Nice.